Okay, so you guys are saying?
Well, you're talking about going into court and taking authority, which is rightfully ours. But if we know who we are and what we're standing in is that truth and that authority, it just takes people to do it. Enough people do it. It's not even going to be about courage anymore. It's going to be just, this is what needs to be done. To me, it's a matter of fact.
Right.
Correct.
It's very matter of fact.
And Harold went and did it last Saturday.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Good for him.
I think it was Saturday. Was it, or did he do it Tuesday? He did it the day before the last call. That would be Tuesday.
Tuesday, okay.
Okay.
And what happened?
It looked like I want to go back and hear the call because I was having computer problems at that time, but it sounded like he had pretty good success.
Oh, great. That's good to hear.
But, there are things we have to do to get there, and I'm hoping I can get my computer right and get to my notes, because we got to get the EINs first.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have to make up our authority package with the life estate deed. And
I want to talk to you about that a little bit, the life estate deed, Tom. On the, I don't know which one Patrick has it. I have it up right here. It is the Admiralty Alien Life Estate Deed, and I think it's on number 9 of his too. It talks about traffic appearance in court, incarceration bonds using account numbers, and he has, on the latest one, he had them all without any dashes. What time call?
You're breaking up. What did you say?
Okay, I don't have control. I don't have control of the control panel.
Oh, the board.
So people are going to have to mute themselves. I can't shut people off with the noise.
Okay.
So what were you saying, Robert? You said about the incarceration bonds and the account what?
Yeah, and the account numbers. He has 2, on this latest one, I'm pretty sure he has 2 9-digit numbers in there that don't have any hyphens in them. And I was just wondering.
Right, his original version did have it, and we took them out because without the hyphens, that's the actual account number.
Okay, and is that the Social Security number and the number on the back of it?
Yes.
Okay. So that was sort of down the line from where I was going. We had to do the EINs, and then I have that.
We have to do the authority package of the life estate deed and
the
listening document and the authorization and signature sheet and our 56F.
Okay.
All of my.
Okay.
Can everybody mute out first?
There's someone talking in the background.
Yeah.
2 people yelling at each other in the background.
I hear enough of that at my house.
We can watch TV and you can hear that.
Exactly.
Callers, can you mute yourself?
Mute yourself with *6, so we don't hear your conversations or your TV programs. Maybe they went in the other room. Still hear them.
So now.
So basically, you need to get those documents done and then record them and at the county recorder and get the certified copies. And then you start preparing your transaction.
Did you not?
And you send in the first time you send in a transaction to one of the people.
I was there 2 minutes before it went.
Hey, Tom.
Yeah, before the timer went off.
You send in a copy of the authority package.
We can't hear you at all. So.
Okay. Let me
is there any way you can get back on the board, Tom?
I'm going to see, because I've got to get another computer up, or at least we'll see if this one's
This is Patrick. I'm on the line now.
Hi, Patrick.
All right, Patrick.
Okay.
Maybe everybody will shut up.
Everybody just mute yourself out. *6.
Okay. Well, they're not
*6 yourself out.
I'll see what I can do to get on the board and get rid of that.
Okay.
Oh, it sounds like maybe it's gone now.
Yeah. He was going over the documents, Patrick.
Now, everybody *6. I don't want to talk to any of you people right now. I'm thoroughly pissed. I'm going to explain a few things, and then this will probably be my last damn call. I posted these documents up here to try and help you guys and try and get you to start thinking for yourselves. Basically, you guys can't think for yourselves. You keep relying upon everybody else to do your thinking for you. You want somebody else to do your choosing for you. But yet you want to be free. Well, that ain't being free if you're waiting for somebody else to tell you what this shit to do. I've given more shit out here to basically try and help people get out of the system over the years than any other nitwit on the damn internet system out here, including all these damn foreign shitheads. Basically, if they claim to be a judge, they claim they should know the damn law. They should know that basically the federal courts don't have jurisdiction over your private contracts. You should know that, okay? You're a private enterprise. You are one of we the people of the country. The government does not have control over your rights, your private contracts. The statutes cannot infringe upon the rights that are protected and guaranteed by the Constitution. That means statutory law does not apply to us. It can only apply to an object or the objects of the government, which means the employees of the government, or those that are working for the government. All under fraudulent contracts. That's how they got us to try and claim that we are an employee of the government. They came in under sham and spurious items out here, counterfeit. But they're foreign counterfeit instruments. That's why the government is standing back and not doing a damn thing about these. It's because these are statutory securities. Okay? The Federal Reserve notes and all these other contracts are under statutory law, and they're not basically under the Constitution, the de jure contracts, because we're not coming in and saying that these are government securities that are affecting the value and harming the Constitution of the country and we the people. We have to do the derivative action against them and file it into the court. But we have to make the little United States, the Constitution for the little United and then States of America, as a co-plaintiff in the process. They're committing piracy out here on the seas of commerce. You hit up the inspector generals with your derivative action, with your private enterprise, with your revoking of all contracts, all signatures that you have done. And order of termination of those contracts. Because these guys are all in breach of contract. The worst thing in this country is not drugs, is not going overseas and fighting wars, is not the oil companies, it's these damn securities. The banks are doing it, the government's doing it, everybody's doing it. Anything that's got a department of is a derivative of the original. They're not the de jure country, the Department of Transportation, the Department of the Treasury. These are all basically derivatives of the original Treasury. There was no transportation organization out here. Transportation Department. They didn't need to regulate the damn transportation until basically it got in under statutory and basically they started going overboard. You have a right to travel because you're in a private enterprise. But you have to terminate those contracts with the state. You have to revoke them and come in under a derivative action if need be. We are also have a confidential relationship with our individual banker. He is our technical fiduciary. We are the principal, he is the agent in the process. We fall under constitutional law, and there's 4 major constitutional laws of crimes. And they are piracy or felonies on the high seas, and that means the seas of commerce, offenses against the law of nations, treason, and counterfeiting the securities and coin of the United States. And they're counterfeiting constantly in the process. You have constitutional liberty. Liberty guaranteed under the American system of constitutional governments, both by the state and both by the federal Constitution. And you have constitutional rights that are guaranteed to a person by the Constitution for the United States of America. And the state constitutions, because per the Bill of Rights, the states cannot override those rights with their statutory laws out here. We are not under, and basically it's in this latest document that I posted up there. Okay? No one doubts the power to create and define and punish crimes and offenses, whether they shall be deemed it necessary and proper by law to do so, for affecting the objects of the government. You're not an object of the government. You're not an employee of the government. The statutory laws were to regulate the employees in doing their jobs. And then to regulate the interfacing public corporations that have dealt with the government, that had contracts with the government. But it was not to regulate private enterprise. We've gone over numerous times on how to get the EINs. We've gone over numerous times about the Form 56 and the 56Fs. I'm done talking about them. Okay? The information is out there. The calls are out there. You can listen to them more than once. But I'm through talking. This is my last call. I'm going to concentrate on all my rest of my stuff. You guys, I've given you more than enough to basically get this understanding and start putting it to work. You guys work together if you want to, but I'm done. I don't condone people that want to go out there and still work with other outfits in the process and not get those other people over to talk to me. So therefore, I'm done with those people too. I don't give a shit what happens from here on out because basically time is short. And all I hear in most cases is bickering or people wanting me to hold their hand basically with questions that basically they could listen and hear on the damn audios. Or read the document themselves. Read the instructions. Especially on the SS4s and the Form 56s. If you can't figure it out, then give up. You don't deserve to come out of the system because you'll just get right back into it in a worse condition. So that's about all I got to say for tonight. You guys want to speak up? I'll listen for a while and see what the hell.
Patrick, I just got control of the board. I'm going to be putting your new file up there right now.
Okay. If anybody wants to ask something right now, this is your last time you can ask it. Because I'm not going to be here any longer.
Well, I have a question for you then. And I've done my deductive reasoning, and I'm thinking what it is. I think I have my answer, but I'm just double checking with the master. You follow?
I'm not the master. I'm just a person out here that's been trying to find out the truth. Okay?
I comprehend that, but you're the master of your own paperwork for sure. And it's basically number 9 on your Admiralty Aline document, and it has oh, never mind. Oh, I'm sorry, number 10 on the Church of Rome confirmation notation is the question I had. It just says per EIN. My deductive reasoning says that is the foreign, that's individual banker EIN.
No, that is an entirely new and different EIN.
Very well.
Once you get to that point, then basically you could turn around, you could file a postmaster request EIN with the Church of Rome to basically have access to the Roman treasury also. But you guys need to concentrate on just getting control of what you know right now about the Social Security, about the birth certificate.
Very well.
Yeah, when you start thinking outside the box like I do all the time, basically we come up with these different things. And you guys ain't there yet.
Well, it for sure is for lack of trying.
Yeah, but you got to keep at this if you really want out. It all depends on how bad you want out, how much time you put in, how much time you hit the dictionaries, how much time you go to other sources, but always checking out the words, because that's where you're going to find the real subject matter is in the words. And then you've got to be able to use those words properly and to protect yourself, because in a lot of cases they have dual meanings, and that's what the damn court system has done, has put, they're operating under one meaning when you're trying to operate under a different meaning, and you think that they're operating under your meaning, you're speaking it, so they must know my meaning. No, they don't. They're going to operate under their meaning unless you are very specific in what you say to them.
I comprehend that. An example of that, I was looking at your Form 56, and I noticed down there it said truster with an ER, and I go, I think that's spelled wrong. I think it's supposed to be OR. And I says, what, before I change anything, I'm going to go look it up and see. And I found exactly what I was looking for in Black's Fourth, the difference between the two. One's living and one is not.
Right. It's also in Valentine's, too. Basically, you always check out more than one dictionary in the process. Don't just go by Black's Fourth or whatever.
I use Bouvier's. I use, Pomeroy's. There's more than one. Not to, alongside the ones that you've already mentioned as well.
And see, we've been denied access in some cases by the federal court. They're operating properly because basically they cannot adjudicate our private contracts because we're a private enterprise. We're also a private court, not at all a court in the usual and proper sense of the term, merely a body set up by a private organization for its internal purposes.
Yeah,
you can put the court order in to the clerk of the court to have them, and basically if they don't operate, you're coming in and they're an employee of the government. They're supposed to be working for us. When we put our derivative actions and our order of seizure in to have the U.S. Marshals and Secret Service go and get our securities that are harming both the country and us in the process. Now, if they don't, then basically they are in violation of statutory laws, and they will be prosecuted as such. But you hit the Inspector Generals up. You hit the Secretary of the Treasury Inspector General. You hit the IRS Inspector General. You hit the Securities and Exchange Inspector General, Social Security Inspector General. You leave no stone unturned. You bitch and complain. They ain't going to do a damn thing to you. You can bring these guys down the right way. Like I said, the worst thing in this country is not drugs, is not gangland killings and everything out here. That's not what's destroying the country. It's these damn fraudulent counterfeit securities that the government And the corporations and the banksters keep writing that keep inflating everything out of sight. We were supposed to be the owners of this country, not the corporations. On the back of my vehicle, I've got a fish on one side and a cross on the other side. That means I'm standing on the land, and I'm also on the waters of commerce in Admiralty.
Would you put a registered mail number on that?
I've got one on there.
Oh, you do? Okay. I didn't know.
Township and everything else on it. I had that license up there several years back. Yeah, I'd ordered this license plate probably about 2 or 3 years ago. But now all the stuff I got in the back of my car, basically, they try, and I've got my manufacturer's title. You need to get that back from the state. Or go and surrender that one and get the cash out of it and then go and buy a new one. But you buy it in your individual banker's, he's going to be the buyer for your private bank. Therefore, you put it into a private enterprise. Therefore, the state cannot do anything to that vehicle because the state cannot come in, has no interest in your private affairs in your private enterprise.
Yeah, I read that in my state constitution today.
Yeah, it's in every one of them.
Yep, it's buried, but it's in there. I believe it's a prohibition.
Yeah, they're not supposed to have any interest in a private enterprise.
Nor a corporate enterprise.
But see, the thing that they've done is they set up these departments or these derivative governmental offices and then say, well, that's okay. That's not under the Constitution. That's how they try and get around the subject matter at hand. And then they even try and play the game. Well, these really aren't securities of the United States. They're securities of this secondary corporate United States. And that isn't covered by the Constitution. See how they play the word games?
Mm-hmm.
So what got you so hot, Patrick?
The squeaky wheel gets the grease. Remember that, people. Unless you sit out there and you really bitch and complain, you're not going to get any remedy whatsoever. So if you want to sit on your hands and basically just bitch and moan amongst everybody, like on the Skype group and everything else, then basically have a good time. Because I'm not a partaker of that anymore. Okay, you had a question? Go ahead.
He asked what got you so heated up, but it's very evident. If you go back to the Skype group a few days ago where people were really bitching and moaning, and I finally had to toss a couple of them off of there. And they claiming no one was answering their questions, but they wouldn't ask a question. And then they just started insulting people.
Yeah, and they didn't bother calling me either.
Right. So they really didn't have
and
a
I
question.
posted my phone number up there several times.
Yeah.
That night. So that's why I'm done.
Oh, Patrick, don't take
I
those
don't need
things
to talk
heart.
to you people anymore, okay? It's basically, you don't want to hear what the hell I have to say. You don't want to listen to these audios and comprehend what the hell is going on here. You don't want to read the documents that I put out there.
Patrick, on the one, can I ask?
Go ahead.
The one you have out right now, that the one that Tom just posted up with the private enterprise. Now that's been on the last 3 of them, I think, but nonetheless, and you may have already spoke about this in your last 2 calls this week. In it talks about the term has been held not merely to forbid the state to become interested in private enterprise carried on by individuals and corporations, but also to prohibit the state from itself engaging in private enterprises ordinarily undertaken only by private promoters. Aren't those all legal entities, individuals, corporations, and private promoters?
Don't go there.
Don't go there. So you've already addressed it.
You're trying to mix and match 2 different things, okay?
I'm trying to clarify the definition.
You're getting everything sort of confused in the process. Stay strictly with what the words say. The state is prohibited from operating and engaging in private enterprises, ordinarily undertaken by other private promoters.
Okay. So the main key part. Got it. Okay. Got it. And then just to speak to that, it just says it would have it earlier, like 20 minutes before the call, after I had looked at some of the documents you had posted recently. I had pulled out something that I was going to start working on again that I had put aside for a while, and I had wrote, all property is owned by the King and the Creator, and we have sole lawful dominion over it. Property can be owned by an alien only by the grant of the true King and under condition of good stewardship. And then I wrote, a charge of breach of fiduciary duty as steward against an alien owner is cause of seizure of the property by the King. And that one's private lawful property is not engaged in commerce, not subject to the codes and statutes of commerce. And it's so odd because I hadn't pulled this out in over 6, 7, 8 months.
Yes, and basically that is a fraudulent document, basically fraud, because of the way the wording is written, everything, and they're talking about aliens, okay, as foreigners, okay?
Yeah.
They should say foreigners, not alien. See, also the term alienated, okay, alien is also all of your aliens.
Right, you said that, on the previous call.
Yes, and see, they've mixed and matched, and they made everybody think that they're an alien out here, and they're not. We are the lawful owners. We are check out your Constitution. There's your Constitution of a state, and most every one of them says that you are the sovereignty of the state.
Right. Well,
the land is the sovereign. We came from the land.
Exactly.
We are therefore the princes of the King. The land is the king in this country. That's why George Washington could not be king, because he was not the whole nation.
Well, I just thought it was interesting that this particular one was referring to the private property and not being engaged in commerce and subject codes and statutes, and that's how you started out speaking tonight. And I do see what you were saying about the alien and the foreigner and the alien. So I just thought that was interesting. But I wouldn't let what these people are saying or not saying or doing.
No, I just don't need a headache anymore, okay?
Well, I agree, but put a lot out there.
Basically, it's up to you guys now. I've given you all the information that I think I can give to you. Okay?
Mhm. Well,
numerous times, over and over again. Okay? And over the years, I've been right on the money the whole damn time. We tried to go with the ecclesiastical courts, basically putting our orders into the court before, because I knew that we had the authority, but we needed to come in under this private enterprise and come in as a ministerial court, because they vacated the ministerial offices out here. That's the problem. They vacated them, and then they set up this quasi-judicial offices in the process. They're not, most of them are not sitting in their real offices anymore.
Right.
You can come in and take that office away from them. You can have that judge removed off the bench. He doesn't have any control over your private contracts anyway. And he's operating as a foreign judge on top of it. A communist foreign judge. Yeah, they're licensed out of England, but the Bar Association was originally created out of the bankers out of Paris. The same time communism was, in 1871, which was just a remake of basically the churches operating in the Middle Ages to control the people.
Yes.
That was basically all communism. Communalism for the greater good of the church.
Mhm. Exactly it.
And that's what all these religions out here, they're all communist organizations. That's why they claim that Martin Luther was a communist, because he was a Southern Baptist minister. He was a member of a communist religion, because all religions are communism. Yeah, we never eradicated this country of communism whatsoever. We're the biggest perpetrators of communism out here.
Patrick, did you say that in 1871 they created the
in the
communists
definition,
in Paris?
Go up there and check it out about communism.
Okay. Now, what you just said was it was created in the churches in Paris, or just the lawyers in Paris? Or
it
both?
was created by the bankers in Paris.
Okay, bankers. Okay.
That was on one of those other Word documents that I had posted up there.
Okay, I'll look for it.
Dealing with communism. That you can go in and look it up in the dictionary. Right. Valentine's Dictionary. It's got it in there in communist and communism twice. In each one of the definitions, 1871.
Okay, good. I'll check it out.
Anybody else?
Yeah, Patrick. I didn't get what you said the first few minutes because I was trying to get control of everything. Oh, here, my computer shut down just as we connected to the call. I've been trying to form myself to go over the overall flow of the documents you have here. I know that number one, we obtain the EINs and do the 56Fs. That's not a problem. Then we create our authority package, which is basically your signature and authorization document as one document, then our life estate deed and their christening certificate, and then our 56 fiduciary forms, and that's what we submit to the county for recording. And
the one with the baptismal certificate, basically, that was your admiralty. That is your document for on the sea. Okay. The other document that I had, the American admiralty and life estate lien, that basically was covering all of my contracts that I had. You also need to do another one, sort of like that admiralty lien, but for your life estate. And that's where you either take a copy of your hospital birth certificate or a picture, JPG, of your Bible entry out of your Bible showing that you are have been birthed upon the land.
Okay.
And see, mine is under gold seal because I got my hospital birth certificate.
I got my.
That is different than the basically the state birth certificate, which is a de jure security of the country.
Right. Okay. As you mentioned that on the last call too, I think.
I know I did.
Right. And so,
Patrick, I just wanted to bring to your attention, everybody's attention, that if one was to get that birth certificate authenticated, is just as good as the original.
No, it isn't.
Sure it is.
That is not the original birth certificate.
I understand that.
It's not the hospital birth certificate. Get that through your mind. That is not the hospital birth certificate, and you will never get that hospital birth certificate unless you've already got it. Therefore, you make a Bible entry which is superior to, and see, the Constitution was written from the Bible. Therefore, the Bible has jurisdiction over this Constitution of this country. You don't go to the Secretary of State and basically ask them for dick shit.
I see your point now. I stand corrected. I totally see your point now. Okay.
I just wish that other people would start, like Rob Ryder and some of these other people, that constantly, you got to go get this authenticated. You got to get this authenticated. It's already authenticated. It's under state seal, and it's under the Bureau of Vital Statistics as a security. But you need to put your claim in using the Bible entry page in the family section, and you get two witnesses to basically state that that's you, and then basically you run a JPG of that if you don't have your hospital birth certificate.
Got it.
Under gold seal. That establishes you are now a life estate deed holder over your body of land on the land. You just now gave yourself the cross. Like I've got on the back of my car.
Yeah.
And then basically the admiralty lien basically is for the fish on the back of my car. And then basically I have control over all of my liens that were created by these government and fraudulent enterprises out here as liens on my property under false and counterfeit securities. That's how simple it is.
So the one for the JPG of the Bible entry, let's say for example that wouldn't be necessary because that's going to be attached to the land, correct?
That is for your living your life estate deed, okay, per se. See,
Okay.
that other document that I have out there is admiralty, a lien, and life estate. So that really is covering my securities. Everything operates in three. So you need three documents. You have to have your land deed and your admiralty vessel title. Then you have all of your cargo titles on another document. See where I'm coming from?
Yes, I do. Yes, totally.
Okay.
Totally. Yeah, I'm just, my mind is just like expanding as we speak. That would mean anything and everything that you ever put your signature to on those accounts.
We basically have now authority over all of that, and we can revoke, and we're a private enterprise when we have our private bank established out here. When we got the estate or the individual banker's EIN, we addressed that he was an employee of our private bank, our private enterprise. Okay? So now you have the right to terminate any and all contracts that are out here against you, that were created in fraud and deception in the process, because they never gave you a contract to begin with. You gave them the credits to begin with. They turned around and created a counterfeit security in the background so that they could make a profit off it.
And then turn around and charge you for it.
Yeah, but you already gave them the credits to pay the bill.
Correct. But they're double dippers.
Yes, and that's where you've got to come in and stop.
Yes.
Okay. See, you've got to be able to prove what the problem is.
You have to be able to see it first in order to prove it.
Yeah, but it shouldn't be that hard after I've explained this numerous times now over the last several months.
Well, sometimes I'm a little obtuse, Patrick, so I appreciate your patience with me.
So, Patrick, when we put together this authorization package, then this is what we get recorded at the county recorder and get certified copies.
Yes.
And then each time we do a transaction, the first time we do a transaction to some organization, we send them a copy of that authorization package.
You don't necessarily have to send them a certified copy, okay?
Okay. Just
you can basically send your authority in to them and basically then order them to, especially these inspector generals, that you're going to be charging, like the Social Security inspector general. You let him know that basically, and that's what I did when I called them on continuing to use my Social Security account, drawing off the monthly payments, because they were making profits off of those, and I had ordered them to stop, but they didn't. And see, that's what basically is going on here. These courts are out here, especially the state courts and all these sheriff's departments, okay, which are not the sheriff's office, they're a sheriff's department. They're a for-profit organization. The sheriff's office is the de jure peace officer's office.
Okay. So we should be sending these authorization packages to the IGs, too.
Yes.
Okay. And then,
that's the only place you're going to get any resolve to basically stop this.
Okay. And then
basically you'll file this in also to the clerk of the court when you get your ass together and order that clerk of the court. Now you're coming in your private court capacity because you've taken over the ministerial position of that court as the judge, and then you order that clerk of the court to basically process that, and if they don't, you will file charges against them.
Okay. But are we still then taking our certificates or receipts and submitting them with the fiscal services forms after having them stamped at the post office, and we send them in for collection? It's when we don't get the money, that's when we take it to court?
You basically file these, and basically you can use the number on the back of your Social Security card to do a set-off, okay?
Right. Yes.
You do the 1040 or the 1047 form.
Yes.
You send that in. Now, if the Bureau of Physical Services does not comply in the amount of time that they're supposed to, then you start getting on the Inspector Generals about these guys are not complying.
Okay. Got it.
The Inspector Generals are there to oversee the employees.
Okay. Well, then when does the court come into play? Can we start a case in the court, or must we wait?
You're not starting any case in the court. You're coming in with your case in hand.
Okay, and we can just start a ministerial process? Make them do the ministerial work?
No, we basically put an order into that clerk of the court to issue an order to the U.S. Marshal or to the Secret Service to go and seize our property.
So we can,
and we also have that clerk of the court send an order down to the U.S. Attorney's Office to basically broker those damn securities.
So we can approach the clerk as our private enterprise court and give them the orders.
Yes.
Okay, I got it.
You can also notify the judge that you are claiming that ministerial capacity.
Okay, got it. I was just wondering where that came in. Now because I was trying to get the flow of events on this.
So that basically that judge now is aware that that clerk of the court is going to have to handle your orders to the clerk.
Okay. I think I have this. I'm going to try to write it
because
up.
You've claimed that position. We, the people, are the owners of this country. We're the sovereignty. Do you people understand this shit?
Yep.
Yes.
Stop believing the government has control over you. The government is nothing but another goddamn corporation.
Criminal syndicate.
A fiction.
Yeah.
They're objects.
Notions.
They're objects. The way it is termed in one court case there. In this last one, if you read, and I tried to make object bold and capitalized so you can see it. The court case said, only if you're an object. Objects are the only ones that are held accountable for these other laws, and that's employees.
Correct.
Or ones that are working under a contract with the government. But you can order the termination of all your contracts because they were all done in fraud. Because you initially gave the damn payment to them, and basically they created a secondary contract by not settling the payment right up front.
Hey, Patrick,
and then they're out there generating more Federal Reserve dollars, more Federal Reserve dollars, more Federal Reserve dollars. Constantly. When we gave them the jour payment up front.
If I may, on the blue sheet fingerprint identification thing at the sheriff's office, you want to do that at the Bijou Sheriff's Office or the sheriff's department?
You just go to the sheriff's office. You get a blue a blue one, and basically the red one is a debtor.
Right.
The blue one is the living. And you have no Social Security number or other identifying number. You can even drop your pants if you want to say, where's the number on my ass? Yeah. I mean, basically put it to them. Say, I have no number.
Very, very true.
Yeah. My fictional person has a number, but I'm not a fiction. If they basically give you a hard time, try and go to another sheriff's office.
I don't think they're going to give me a hard time.
Normally they won't, especially if you talk to the sheriff.
Yeah.
As a peace officer.
Yes. Yes.
And normally the sheriff and his chief deputy are basically still holding peace officer cards. The other deputies, maybe they may not. But I know basically all police departments, they're basically, now they're all departments, so they're all operating for profit.
Well, I've had a few of them say to me that they're working for me.
Yeah, they're supposed to be, and they're supposed to be peace officers, not statutory law enforcement officers, because you don't fall under statutory law. Congress can't impose any violations against our rights.
Correct, because I'm not an object of the government.
That's right. They can only regulate the employees or contractors with the government. And you can revoke all contracts with the government, so therefore you're no longer contracted to the government. And I even told the Secret Service this, hey, you know that car you're driving out there? That belongs to me. Because everything out here in the corporation belongs to we the people as shareholders. We're the owners, not the employees of that corporation. They have a right of ownership when they're operating strictly in the private. But that's the only time they have a rightful ownership claim. They're the ones that owe the income tax, not us. The sovereignty doesn't owe taxes. You're not the sovereignty. You are the sovereignty, just like the Constitution say you are.
So, Patrick, is this actual notice of life estate deed, the grantors, the living principal, and the grantee, is that our CFO guy that we're granting it to?
No.
Who's the grantee?
Nobody. Mother Earth is the grantee. She gave you the substance to give you your estate, land.
Well, on this form, it says
What
in the
form?
grantee, and it says actual
What
notice.
form? What form?
It's your declaration, actual notice of life estate deed. It says life estate deed on the paperwork.
It says more than that, okay?
Right.
I haven't posted my latest notice of cause of action for the record by Patrick Devine, my American life estate deed, and patented a lien claim.
Okay.
That's the one of my hospital birth certificate. The same way I did my admiralty document. But we should put the word patented in there because we are patented. Like Kurt Kallenbach the other night was trying to say, I think it was Kurt, on Angela Stark's show, everything is about copyright. No, it's about patent.
Hmm.
I get a kick out of these guys. They just go off on a different tangent. They find one word and then basically they're totally gone.
Well, copyright's secondary anyway.
Yes, patent is superior.
Right.
And weren't you patted on the butt when you came out to make sure that you were alive?
Yep.
So you were patented. Never thought of it that way, did you?
Nope. I did, but I caught on real quick.
Yeah. How simple is these things?
I think we get in our own way.
Patrick, did you say you have posted that one or you haven't?
I haven't posted that one yet, okay?
So
but it's going to be something, it's going to be similar to the one I did with the baptismal certificate.
Okay.
Just modify that one for the life estate deed.
That was the one back in the end of March, right?
Whatever.
Yes,
Yeah,
but I reposted it. I reposted it into the current folder.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was March 16th before.
Okay.
So is a grantee like a trustee? Is that somebody that you trust that's different than yourself? Is that what you're saying? Nobody's talked about the grantee on this paperwork here.
Let me pull the damn thing up.
Okay.
I might be able to.
You really piss me off at times, Steve, okay?
I see.
You come in with
we've
this
got a
stuff
lot of these
way down the line, okay? I've talked about this shit for so damn long, and basically out here trying to find.
I think your individual
right
bank.
What does it say? Grantee.
I see the one on March 27th.
Right.
Okay, it says grantee. Patrick Devine. He's my agent. He's the one that's operating under the individual banker's EIN.
Yep.
That's what I just asked you. I just thought if that was the correct assumption that I made.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, when everybody gets mad at each other, you can't fucking think straight, man.
Right.
I got to fight
Nobody's
with my.
mad.
If you basically
I got to fight with everybody all day long just to make a living.
A little for yourself, Steve, and listen to the calls. I went over this shit before.
I do listen to the calls. I listen to them 10 times each.
Yeah, you do. It's all right, you guys.
Because that question
do you
came up
role
before.
Yeah, I've been in front of the mirror a couple times.
Restating my answer that I gave 2 or 3 times in the past.
Well, because I guess I needed some reassurance. I was doubting myself because I haven't seen the word grantee on here before.
Oh.
Patrick Devine is Patrick of the American Estate of Devine is the grantor. And then basically my fiduciary for my private enterprise is going to be Patrick Devine, my individual banker.
Right.
The other 2 EINs that I have are basically holding. They're basically the routing numbers to go in and have the assets processed into my estate and from my trust, my American du jour trust.
I know. Okay, I got it.
Okay.
I've heard it before, like you said. I'm just trying to think straight. You get us rattled, man.
No, you rattle yourself.
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, sometimes if you are going to go in and occupy the ministerial office of the court, the rattling he's doing right now isn't shit to what a judge might be able to do to you.
Right.
Your judge ain't even going to be there.
I understand that, but if the man that or woman that goes in there doesn't know what they're doing, they're going to get handled.
Yeah, well, basically, I told a woman how to go into court, and if she stands by the Book of Ruth, okay?
Right. You said it over.
There's been numerous or several cases down there in Texas that basically the women went into court and basically said, I stand by the Book of Ruth, and shut up, and basically that judge dismissed the charges right then and there. Because they cannot take a woman to court unless she has caused harm or damage. Basically, she is basically supposed to be the estate property of either her father, her husband, her dead husband, or her dead father. A woman is not supposed to be an estate owner. Sorry, women, but that's the way it's in the Bible. This women's lib shit was all shit to try and get you into their system and then to screw up a man's voting authority out here so that basically you made the man's vote go away. You canceled it out so that we got all these shitheads out here in the government now in the process.
I didn't ever register to vote.
And see, the church did the same damn thing when they brought the Virgin Mary in to be a co-redemptress with Jesus back in the Middle Ages. They wanted to get the women into the churches so that they could get the men back into the churches so that they could fill up the coffers. Because the women would always put a little extra in there to try and save their husband. Oh, he's going to hell. He's going to hell. That's what the priest or whatever would say. So basically the women come in here, throw a couple extra coins in. It's all about money. Follow the money, and you'll find out how the system works. Your exemption number is either using the full number on the back of your Social Security, or you turn that letter into a one-digit number. Because everything, even in the movie Matrix, they tried to show it at the beginning of the first Matrix movie and at the very end. And at the very end, it has the columns of 9 digits running up and down. And then in there, it said system failure. Well, what the hell do we have right now? We've got a system failure using these 9-digit routing numbers. Because it's gone into total overload.
You know, like you said, all these securities, they're up to whatever it is, at 200 quadrillion or 100 quadrillion or something. It's crazy.
Well, the printing of the money is up to that, okay?
Yeah.
And then all this securities basically are written out here, these liens and everything, bonds that they've written, and you do not write any bonds. Your word is your bond.
That's all. Right.
The living does not give a bond. He gives his word.
Mm-hmm.
Only an employee has to bond himself into that office because they're operating as a fiction. That judge is just a fiction. And he better have a bond. Okay, anybody else have any questions?
Yeah, but thanks for letting us know about our power in court as a ministerial, order for the clerk. That's really important.
We take the ministerial office because it's vacated.
Right, ministerial.
And we can only do that for our private contracts. We can't go in there under somebody else's contract and do that for them unless you have power of attorney for them.
What about if it's your chargee?
If you're what?
If it's your son.
You are the guardian over him.
Yes.
Okay.
He has not reached the age of majority yet.
Right. You are his guardian, and you can come in and basically have jurisdiction over him. Read the definition about guardian.
Yeah.
Just a suggestion, but something that myself and a couple others were doing about a year or so ago on some court filings. We created our own little stamp to put on the back to have it certified, but it's our own certification, a lawful certification in the private or of private, and just put on there something to the effect of for this, and then in brackets would be the all cap name, postal court filing with the dominion of the creator by this postal, and then registered number in brackets again, and then the date, auto domini in brackets, time, and then the clerk of the court in brackets, and then have them sign both lawfully and legally. And that's just a suggestion. I don't know what you think about that, Patrick, but that creates your own authenticated certification.
All you have to do is basically you just sign it, like Patrick, of the estate of divine. My right and left index fingers, and then basically I would put those in red, and then I would seal it. I'd sign in blue, put my fingerprints, and then seal it with my own embosser. And it doesn't make any difference what your embosser is. Okay?
Yeah. Did the fingerprint too.
And if you wanted to, you could put a stamp there too, so that it's now posted.
Well, I would avoid the stamp, but
the only thing I'd do if you're going to get it posted, I would go and have the post office cancel that stamp. They're not really canceling that stamp. They're basically showing that basically it is posted. That's the date it was posted. That stamp was posted.
Right, and if you were going to do the stamp, wouldn't you put your first appellation diagonally across it?
You don't need to, okay?
Oh, okay.
I got a quick
Not if
question
you've already got your signature and everything else up there.
Okay.
Actually, couple of questions. What does one there, Patrick, think about having one of those 1455s already made up, ready to go, but the only thing you have to fill in is if, say, for example, a peace officer comes in and wants to give you a ticket, and you're not going to fight with them, so you're going to go ahead and you're going to receive his ticket, and then in the signature line of the ticket, you're going to put C attached notice, and that has your signature on it that's already been stamped and verified, and you send that in as a package deal.
Just flip that ticket over, and you put, this is to be set off against my exemption number, which is on the back of your Social Security card, and give it to the clerk of the court. Say this bill is now paid, and I want my, for the appearance bond, if you have an appearance bond on that ticket, and I want the charges taken out, and I want the extra credits returned to me out of that appearance bond. Don't even go to court.
Well, I was going to try to take care of it right there at the court. Yeah, I was just going to try to take it there, right there at the end of the roadside. See, if I don't sign the ticket, then I never made a promise to appear.
Go ahead and sign the ticket, okay? until basically you get to the point to where they can't write a ticket.
Very well. I got you. Okay. I see what you're doing. Yeah. Okay.
You don't argue with them. Basically, if your vehicle is under state registration and you have a driver's license or some other item, you don't have your de jure blue card yet, identification, with no numbers on it, then basically you're still under their system.
Right.
Just sign the thing, and basically it'll be set off, and basically then you can turn around and file charges back against them for that fraudulent bond. Now, if the court also sets up a court case before you do this, okay, then that's another bond. See, that's what I submitted into the federal court, to the clerk of the court, for the court bonds. And see, I will go after the judicial inspector general about the fraud that's going on in the court by the clerk of the court, the employee of that court system. Then I can put charges against that employee. See, that's what the Social Security Inspector General was trying to avoid. He was trying to, since I knew that I could file charges against these guys for continually writing counterfeit securities for profit and gain, when they were told to stop. Our name is a marketable title, and they use it as such. That is identity theft also. And all the inspector generals, if you check out their websites, you will find that one of the things that they all address is identity theft, along with security fraud. That is really counterfeiting, right? Securities.
Yeah. Yeah, that's some pretty powerful information that you're putting out there, really. I've done, like I said, the research on the private enterprise, and that's sound. There's nothing. And I even like the part about taking over the court. I don't have no problem with that either. I don't want to make it a living, but I don't have any, compunction in doing it.
Yeah, and that was all under that financial rehabilitation document. And you have the right of financial rehabilitation, and that is addressed in the Bible over and over and over again. Definition of that is in the dictionary also, about financial rehabilitation.
Would you add the statement financial rehabilitation on the 1455s, or the part where you put age of majority? The reason for doing this, I believe.
Well, you have the right to basically terminate or to have those securities brokered as soon as you turn 21.
Right.
Age of majority, that's all you need to say. You don't need to say too much more. I'm of age.
All right. All right, I'll yield. I'm going to shut up and let somebody else ask some questions.
Yeah, so that anti-American and anti-free property bar document that I have up there, that's the one that has most of the definitions in it. About communism and ministerial duty, ministerial officer, ministerial act, characterization. Okay? And see, that's what they're all acting out here. They're acting as characters, actors.
Legal title by characteristic.
Yep. And then they're all operating under, basically in violation of the antitrust tax. They're operating as a monopoly.
Hey, Patrick, I'm wondering why on this life estate deed that you have a space on the bottom for a notary, because we didn't really want to do notaries if we're going to be be private. But you
have to get your signature acknowledged, okay, that is who you are when you're doing this document. So you get it notarized. Then you take it to the county recorder, and now you put it in. Okay. The county recorder cannot do the notary. So you go to one of the other offices in the court or in the courthouse there and get them to do the notary. I got it from my county assessor or auditor.
And you didn't have to pay
take a court document in to the clerk of the court, unless you have a court case, most cases they're going to charge you for it. You can even possibly go down to the sheriff's office and have one of the notaries there in the sheriff's office do it for you for nothing. Right. And there's always supposed to be a notary in the sheriff's office for any documents that the prisoners are trying to generate.
Right, you said that before.
I understand that those fees are only for governmental objects. They're not for men and women. The court fees that you spoke of. I have a couple of...
Right. Well, we're not going into court, okay?
Right,
We're not allowing anything in the court. We're putting orders into the clerk of the court. Okay? But, basically, to get a notary from a clerk of the court, most of these clerks of the court at the courthouse here, especially in the state of Iowa, they're going to charge you about $10 if it's not a court document. See, they're all operating the court process. The clerk of the court and the judges, they're all in a judicial quasi-conspiracy for operating for profit. But most of the other offices in the courthouse are not operating under the quasi-judicial system. You have the right also out here to purge all documents out of the record because they were all private contracts. Therefore, there can never be any 3 strikes and you're out in the process if you go in and order all of those, that clerk of the court to purge all records.
Because they're private documents or private contracts.
Because they were all basically contracts with you in the private. Okay?
Patrick, can you hear me? Hello?
Go ahead.
Since we're private, wouldn't we be able to put our own stamps? Well, not on my own document, but for example, on my friend Eduardo's 1455, he has a private bank. Wouldn't I be able to authorize that? According to Title 31, it says, who's certified. Who's a certified?
You can try it. You can try it. Okay. See if it goes through.
Okay.
Okay. I was doing the stamps and trying to get the post office to cancel the stamps and basically just have the postmaster do a verification of who I am.
Yeah, the problem was that we went and they refused.
They do it for a passport. They ought to be able to do it for security also. For the Treasury Department. They do it for the State Department. They ought to be able to do it for the Treasury Department.
Oh yeah, they do, because I called up and I asked them if I was saying it the wrong way. I was asking the person over at the post office in Washington, I believe, where can I go to get an official seal? And she didn't understand it. She was like, wait a minute, let me get some information. And she goes, no, what you want is a round dated official stamp. So she knew, and I told her it was a 1455, and I described everything, and she went and asked, I guess, her supervisor, and she said, yeah, that's what you need to get, is that round dated. She gave me another number to call up to see which one of my local post office would put that stamp.
Mm-hmm. And basically, if you're running a problem, just contact the Inspector General, the Postal Inspector General office, and say, please contact this local postmaster and direct them that basically they are to verify my signature on these documents.
Yeah, because they according to that Title 31 Part J, they fall under that category, so they have to do that.
Yeah.
They are certified officers. Okay.
Hey, Johnny, when you're successful with that procedure, could you post it to the Skype group?
Well, no, you get out there and do it, Tom.
Oh, I'm going to do it too, yes.
Okay.
Well, we're going to try one more time to get the postmaster there to certify the document. If in case they don't, then we're going to go ahead and...
They're not certifying it. They are only verifying you are the person that is signing it.
Okay. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, it's called certification.
Yes.
Yeah. They call it certification, but it's really not. Right. They're just certifying that you are who you say you are.
Correct.
So it's your verification.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they were trying to say, no, you need to go to a notary. I'm like, no, here in the document says a notary.
Yeah.
But they're very tricky. They're criminals anyway.
Yeah, and you're right. Basically, we should be able to do this ourselves and just use our own embosser out there in the process. But
the stamp's coming in from the left.
Yeah, putting a stamp out there and basically putting it as a debt when you have that posted. Now that is a debt that's posted to them.
Yes, having your seal on it, creating your own private seal, like you said before, that's a big deal, especially if you're doing something similar to a bill of lading and cargo and that sort of thing. So that's internationally known. I believe that's the case.
Okay, anything else? Okay.
Yeah, I was just kind of... Oh, I'm sorry, Patrick. I was just kind of thinking about that verification that the man just said just earlier. I'm kind of thinking that you might want to do... I'm thinking just out of, just off the top of my head, you might want to run it through the postmaster one time. Okay, now they have your information on file. And if you have your individual bankers and all that stuff, then you can go ahead and and attempt to do that and see what happens. I don't.
Well, see, we're not. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're just coming in there and we're just showing up, and we're the ones that's signing that. We give them a picture ID showing us that we are the person that basically is doing the signing on this document, and all they're doing is basically saying that you are not another person coming in and trying to claim this other person's security. That's all they're doing.
Right. Why don't the quasi guys have to go through this much stuff?
Not necessarily. Basically, most of them are, well, they don't know anything about this either, okay? They only know how to get your shit.
Plus, they're chipping all of them, so everything's already internally.
Yeah, and another way to look at it is by doing this, you're certifying, but you're also preventing mail fraud.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And identity.
And
not only that,
now it's posted, and basically this is, if they don't process it, then it is mail fraud.
Mm-hmm.
And you're getting the postal union involved in that. You know, the postal.
Well, we will get the post office, the de jure office, involved. The de jure post office stands over all these postal employees for statutory law.
And when you do go into those post offices, I've done it. If you get on the right terms with the postmaster and the de jure, he will speak to you privately, and you will get a lot more accomplished that way.
Right.
So just
let them see the form, okay? Basically show them right down there at the bottom. This is by the Department of the Treasury and the Bureau of Physical Services. This is not a fraudulent document.
Yeah. And on the other hand, if you go to the ones at the desk, at the counter, and you throw some of this stuff at them, some of them will lose their jobs, and because they don't have the knowledge, and then they go asking about it, because I've already noticed that's happened. So
they don't have the authority to do it.
No, but even because they don't have the knowledge, if you go to them and ask questions, and then they go and they start asking questions,
they can have the authority if the postmaster gives them the authority.
Well, sure,
to do
they
it.
do.
Yeah,
they do.
But you always start basically, and the same thing. If you're running a problem, getting EINs or anything like that, you always go up the ladder. Say, I need to talk to your supervisor. Evidently, we're not communicating. Maybe I need to talk to someone at a higher level. There's a chain of command. You start on the ground floor and you work your way up the ladder. Okay, anything else? Okay, you guys are on your own. I'm done.
Hey Patrick, I just wanted to say this information is like saving America. Like we're driving a truck on the side of a cliff or on the side of a hill in the rain, and the road's eroding behind us as we go, and we don't, like you say, we don't have much time. It's like the road's falling away from us. We got to keep the gas pedal on to get up the road.
No, it's like basically the Indians used to kill the buffalo. They drove them over a cliff, and basically the buffalo would fall and break their neck, and then the Indians would go and get the meat, because it also got tenderized a little. Okay? You guys take care.
Okay.
You too, Patrick.
Good one. Bye.